same day that agreement was reached, reports also came out detailing how several Clippers, including Lou Williams, Patrick Beverley, Montrezl Harrell, were, quote, bristled when Kawhi was given games to take off and would regularly be late for team flights under the watch of Doc Rivers. So, Shannon, what is your reaction to all of this Clippers news?
I'm not surprised. Skip, remember I had, before this report even came out, I told you what caused the conflict in that locker room. I said, you have to understand, Skip, Trez, Lou Williams, and Patrick Beverley had established the culture. They play hard on a nightly basis. They practice hard, because remember, Skip, they took 2 games off a healthy Golden State with KD, and KD was cooking, because remember one game, Skip, he dropped 50 on them. And they had them, at one game, the Golden State had them down by like 18, and they came all the way back and won it. So the culture had been established. This is how we do. We play hard, we practice hard, we give it our all. What Kawhi Leonard failed to understand or realize is that what you did in Toronto, what you did in San Antonio, doesn't mean a hill of beans. Because you got to prove, Skip, you got to do that there. You have to come in and ingratiate yourself there. That was unimportant to him. I said, you think load management, the guy's looking at you like, wait a minute, bro. Dog, what are you doing? You allowed him to do that? Dog, what about these practices? And he's late for meeting. So now we got to step. So Kawhi's time is more important than my time. Skip, you know that's one thing that I despise, is that you telling me your time is more important than mine? Because that's the privileges that he got when he was in Toronto. Kawhi was allowed to bring his fiancée or his girlfriend or whoever she was on the flight. People looking at his side, I did, because he got privileges nobody else got. And then he comes here, he brings that same attitude. And I told you, without even hearing this report, Skip, let me tell you something about Shannon Sharpe. After playing 14 years, I wasn't a high draft pick. So I was a guy, low-round draft pick, so I got an opportunity to sit back and observe how the better players, how they acted, and then the lower players, how they reacted to how they were acting. And then as I moved my way up through the rankings, I made sure that the behavior that rubbed me and some of the other lesser tier players, I never displayed that. Once I became, keep telling you, Skip Bayless, I never played basketball, but I know the thinkings of an athlete. That was a problem. That's something Ty Lue's gonna have to address. Now, Ty Lue is capable of addressing it, because you remember, Skip, when he got the job at the Cleveland, and LeBron James was trying to talk over him in the huddle, he said, Bron, in no uncertain terms, I got this. He stepped to Kyrie, bruh, this is what we need. And LeBron was like, Ty Lue, whatever you need, I got you. He's going to have that conversation with Kawhi. Paul George going to there thinking he LeBron, thinking he Kevin Durant. That rubbed guys the wrong way. And they got a coach fired. But that coach ain't hit the side of the backboard. That coach didn't score 2 points in Game 7. That coach didn't do that. Those guys alone, and those are going to be the guys that's going to have to fix it. They're going to have to change their behavior and their attitude. You know it. Ooh, you hate it. Oh, Kawhi.
I cannot tell you how much I disagree with every point you just made. I cannot tell you how much you just missed the boat.
So Sean's
swung
lying.
And missed.
So Sean's lying.
Who?
Sean Sharini.
No, I'm not talking about that.
He's going to report this.
Okay, so when did all those things occur? Early in the season. I'm talking about the old real season when they were actually flying to other cities to play games in, right?
Yes.
Okay, help me out. What did Shams report this? Did Kawhi miss any team planes while they were in the bubble?
There was no flight.
Thank you. Thank you. This happened early on. Were the conditions the same conditions that they sold to your Lakers, that your Lakers swallowed hook, line, and sinker? You better believe it. The Lakers said, whatever you want, Kawhi, we will do it. You know it and I know it. You want to load manage? We'll do it. Don't give me this BS that you're trying to say, oh, the Clippers bought a bill of goods. The Lakers sold out. They said, we'll do whatever you want. Don't give me this baloney. You know it, that you swallowed it.
Let me ask you a question.
LeBron James was telling all of his media cohorts, we got him. We got him. You don't think Uncle Dennis was selling the same stuff to the Lakers? Yes, we'll do it. Yes, we will. Whatever you want, Kawhi, we'll do it.
Let me ask you this. Do you think these problems just rose out of the bubble? The bubble was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Okay, look, I get it that you had some tough players who had been there last year, as you point out, and they did that. They pushed Golden State not to the brink, but they scared them. that they took their pound of flesh out of Golden State. And I got it because I have nothing but respect for Montrez and Lue and Pat Bev because they got that dog in there.
Yes.
And I love them. That's why I picked them this year. And I get it that they're like, damn, we have to put up with it. Yeah, you do, because that's the deal that you signed on for. So early on in the season, Doc was having to manage internal issues and dissension because Kawhi wanted to live in his place, which is down near San Diego.
Yeah.
Well, help me out.
100%.
If you're going to fly out, I assume they fly to LAX, but I don't even know that. I assume they do.
I assume they do
if you're going to try to get to LAX from somewhere near San Diego, what's going to happen? You're going to be late.
Well, unless you take a helicopter.
Unless you take a helicopter, and for a while, I'm knocking on wood for this, but he was supposedly taking the Kobe helicopter, right?
Yes.
So I don't know how that impacted.
Well, Skip, that's the only way you can get to LA from San Diego.
I got it. So I don't know if the passing of Kobe changed all that. If he said, I got to drive now, and he started being late for flights. Because if you drive from somewhere near San Diego, you're just going to have, it's 2 hours
with
easy.
No traffic.
Okay,
got
it. I got
traffic
it.
is done.
And the deal with the fiance, I got it. Where that's a stipulation, that's part of the conditions of your signing on for this. Because he was in the most commanding position maybe any free agent's ever been in.
Your catbird seat.
Okay, that's the catbird seat. So I got it. So the point is that they had to fight through these issues earlier in the season. But what did Doc always say? The last 2 weeks before the pandemic hit, we were starting to take off.
Right.
So I'm going to assume Doc thought he had fixed those issues. Then they go to the bubble. And what did our man Jared Dudley, my friend Jared Dudley, say the other day on a podcast? He said, those boys didn't want to be in that bubble. Well, I told you from the start. They didn't. Lou Will almost didn't go for lots of reasons, but it can be COVID, it can be Black Lives Matter. And then Montrez was in, and then he was out. And a bunch of the players just that Landry Shamet had issues going, staying. And after a while, you're not unified anymore. And if you did have any lingering bitterness toward Kawhi, and especially Paul George, who talks way bigger than he plays.
True.
Okay? Well, then I get it. But the point is that yesterday, they finally did what I kept pounding the table over here to do. They retained and elevated Ty Lue into that job. I believe that Ty Lue, I'm not going to say he can flat out fix this problem, but I believe he can smooth it over because that's what he does best.
Skip, the thing is that he can do is that he was there and he knows the issues. An outside coach wouldn't have been privy to the issues that were going on inside. Ty Lue got an opportunity to see firsthand.
He saw it firsthand, but he couldn't deal with it firsthand because he wasn't the head coach. So he had to sit and bite his lip and watch his man Doc Rivers try to smooth this over.
The difference between the Clippers and LeBron, the Lakers signing off says, okay, Kawhi, you want to load manage, you